Class, welcome to today's video lesson, and in this topic it'll be discussing order of operations. Order of operations involves how we solve expressions and the process and the order in which those items need to be solved in the correct way. We have the acronym PEMDAS. A lot of us think of PEMDAS. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. A lot of those things, or all those things, can help us as we're going through to remember the correct order. Now, when we see the P, most of us do think of parentheses, but we need to totally understand and remember that parentheses is not always true. And we need to grasp the concept that it is grouping symbols. Please forgive me for my writing. Now, grouping symbols. Those can involve parentheses, but we also have other items. We can have the squiggly brackets. We can have the straight brackets. We can have radical symbols. We can even have the division bar. So a lot of those different items do come into effect. The next thing, we have E. E still stands for our exponents. Still exponents. Nothing changes there. Now the next four items semi go together. Now when we talk about M and D, we're referring to our multiplication and our division, but we don't automatically say, hey, if I'm working from in my problem, I do all the multiplication first and then I do all the division next. No, as we are working in our problem from left to right, we will work whatever comes first. If it has to be a division part or a multiplication, whatever comes first. And we're going to constantly work from our left to right, called the left to right hand rule. Now with the addition and subtraction, it is the same way. We work left to right. Always, always, always we work left to right when we are dealing with these different items. So with the order of operation, PEMDAS, grouping symbols first, exponents. Then we have our multiplication and division from left to right, addition and subtraction from left to right. So let's look at a couple of examples here. We have this first one, 17 minus 3 times 2 plus 2 raised to the second power. Well, remember our acronym. Well, there are no grouping symbols, so the next thing, or the first thing we need to look at are our exponents. So we want to rewrite, and as we are rewriting, we're going to now work the powers. What's 2 times 2? 2 times 2 is 4. Then we go to our next. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Well, there's no more grouping symbols, there's no more exponents, so we have then multiplication and division. Well, I see a multiplication right here. So I'm going to say 17 minus 3 times 2 is 6. And then bring down the rest of the problem. After we do that multiplication, we then work left to right in our addition and subtraction. We can say now 17 minus 6, 11, plus 4, then 11 plus 4 gives us 15. Notice that we continually work down in that V-shaped pattern. Continuing on with another example. Here we have 25 minus 12 divided by 3 times 4. No grouping symbols, no exponents. So we have to look then at multiplication and division from left to right. So as I'm going left to right, I spot a division symbol. So that's my first thing. So 25 minus 12 divided by 3 is 4. Then we'll bring down the rest. Now going back through, no grouping symbols, exponents, multiplication, division. Here's some multiplication. So 25 minus 4 times 4 is 16. Going back through, well, the only operation that is left is the subtraction. So 25 minus 16 gives us 9 as our solution. Another example, just working. Best practice we can get is just continue to work. And we have a lot of different items here. we have some grouping symbols within grouping symbols. Notice that we have this set of parentheses, and I talked to you earlier about brackets, straight brackets. So when we're working, we go to our brackets first, and then we start working everything inside. So it's essentially we're going to have order of operation inside the brackets first. So 28 minus 2, we're just going to bring down first. And I'm going to keep my brackets there because I have to work with inside of it. So I go inside these parentheses, and I have 6 minus 3. I'm going to leave it in parentheses because it's important since it's got that 2 there, plus 4. Leave it in brackets. Going back inside, continue to work inside, I have 28 minus 2. Inside my brackets, I have now 3 squared. That is 3 times 3, which is 9, plus 4. Continuing inside. So I have 28 minus 2. Brackets, I have 9 plus 4. Gives me 13. Notice every time we brought the 28 minus 2 down, because if we went ahead and subtracted, we'd ended up saying 26 times 13, but that's not the order of operation. Remember, understanding, there's not an operation given, it is multiplication. So now my next operation would be the multiplication. So I have 28, bringing it down, and minus 2 times 13 gives me 26. And now I simply subtract, and we have the solution of 2. Involves several different operations here. Another example. Oh my goodness, messing up my computer screen. I have another example here. Involving fractions. We still work everything the same way. Still going through the same process. Notice we have a set of parentheses, so I'm going to go inside there, and if we recall, subtracting fractions, they have unlike denominator, so we had to find a common denominator. So I'm going to bring this 1/2 out, or bring it down, sorry, and a common denominator between 6 and 4. Well, 12. Got to do that before I can do anything else. And recall, 6 goes into 12. 2 times 5 gives me 10. So 5 6 is equivalent to 10 12s. And 4 goes into 12 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. So now I can actually subtract. I have 10 12ths minus 9 12ths. Remember, if the denominators are the same, we simply perform the operation to the top number. So we have 1/12. And that is times 1/2. When we multiply fractions, we multiply straight across. So I have 1 times 1 over 2 times 12, which is 24. Notice that when we're solving and working, all operations have to go in a correct order. If we were to get out of order, then our solution would not be the same and it would be incorrect. So, as we are working through our problems, I hope we can recall and remember these different items, and remember that we have to go in that wonderful correct order of grouping symbols, exponents, multiplication and division from left to right, and then addition and subtraction from left to right. Happy working.